What if your headphones could learn your ears and make everything sound better? Maybe even fix your ears. Well, sort of. Zildjian thinks they can, and honestly, they might be onto something. Okay, not really, but kinda. But before we dive in, welcome to Project Beats. I'm Joven. If you're into videos like this and you want to help the channel out, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. It really helps a lot. In this video, we are checking out Zildjian Alchem-E headphones. Big thanks to Yamaha Singapore for lending me a pair to test. Okay, let's get into it. Straight out of the box, the Alchem-E feels premium. The ear pad is plush, similar feel with the pads on the LCD-X. The build's solid, it's fairly light. Personally, I wouldn't go for the blue version. Black with gold trim is slick. The white one's not bad either. Now, there are a couple of features here that I haven't seen on other headphones, and one of them makes this a pretty legit studio headphone, which is why we're even talking about it in the first place. But just to be clear, this is a prosumer noise-canceling lifestyle headphone, not exactly in the realm of clinical reference grade headphones like these. So the headlining feature in Zildjian's marketing, perfect tune technology. It's one of the tech they put in the headphones. If you've ever done speaker calibration, where you're placing mics in different positions, you're running white noise, pink noise, and frequency sweeps to tune the speakers according to the space, it's kind of like that, but for your ears. The headphone runs a calibration test separately for each ear and customize the sound for your personal hearing profile. I tried it a few times and got consistent result. You'd have to be in a quiet room to do the test, which makes sense, of course. For me, the result always leaned towards a bit of a boomy low end. It feels similar to sort of like a standing wave bloated feeling, but that's just me. I'm guessing that would be like the consumer type of tuning, which would be a people pleaser sort of, right? But here's the good part. You can EQ it further in the app. You can also toggle the perfect tune on or off. I personally pulled down the subs a little bit, sort of a shelf correction, and then I raised the 3,000-4,000 range. Super easy. I still prefer the perfect tuning on versus off. With minor tweaks on the EQ, I'm basically set. Here's where it got interesting. I lent these headphones to a friend, a legit audiophile, but he recently experienced a mild to moderate hearing loss in the right ear. Here's what he had to say. Let me get my notes. I have a mild to moderate hearing loss in my right ear, and the perfect tune feature gave me a listening experience the AirPods Max simply couldn't match. It noticeably improved the clarity in my right ear. This is similar to the hearing assistance feature found in the AirPods Pro 2. But I was impressed that Alchem-E delivered this kind of tailored sound right out of the box. Side note, I was wearing my right AirPods Pro 2 with hearing assistance on while listening to the AirPods Max. And the Alchem-E still gave me a better experience. As for controls, the Alchem-E's protruding knob threw me off at first. I kept accidentally hitting it when adjusting the headphones, but I adapted pretty quickly. If you're after the best noise cancelling comfort, long sessions, and more neutral ambient mode, AirPods Max are hard to beat. But if you're after richer mids, more engaging classical playback, and a unique edge with hearing personalization, especially if you have some hearing loss, the Alchem-E might just surprise you. Both are premium, but they shine in different ways. So it really comes down to what kind of listening experience you are after. There you go. That's solid right there. And since we're here, here's what he has to say about the sound quality experience against the AirPods Pro Max. Clarity-wise, both are excellent, but Alchem-E tends to lean a bit bass-heavy. That said, I had a blast listening to Beethoven's Triple Concerto. The cello really comes alive, and the mids sang beautifully. For classical music, I'd take the Alchem-E over the AirPods Max any day. Jacob Collier's Jesse Volume 4, pretty much a tie. Both headphones delivered solid soundstage and clarity. Great listening either way. Little Wayne's Amelie, Alchem-E had a slight edge in the lows, but honestly, neither delivered the punch this track deserves. You really need a subwoofer to do it justice. Both headphones were just okay. Rage Against the Machine killing it in the name. Both sets of headphones brought out the raw energy of the band. The vocals popped with clarity, unfiltered, intense, and alive. There you have it. That's a pretty solid review. Okay, the studio-friendly feature I mentioned earlier was play-along mode. I actually just found out about it while writing this script just earlier, just a few minutes ago. I keep calling it ambient mode, and I was wondering why it's so good. Well, they actually literally put this in the headphone as a feature. Again, they call it the play-along mode. So most ambient modes kind of fall apart when you're playing drums or anything loud. The AirPods Pro 2 ambient mode gets confused. It jumps between frequencies like it's panic mode, you know. The Alchem-E, nope. It literally says in the marketing, play-along mode, 50% drum dampening, allowing you to hear your kit while playing to music. I tested this myself, and you know the feeling where your drums are mic'd up and fed into your headphones? You can hear the subtle playing details, dynamics, finesse. No need to smash your kit so hard just to hear it over your backing track, which is really good. I haven't tried it with other instruments or vocals, but I imagine it would give a similar vibe. Definitely a win and a competent studio headphones. As for comfort and fit, the Clamp Force is more like a chill version of the Bigfoot isolation headphones, maybe closer to an M50 by Audio-Technica, but with more plush pads. It could get tiring after a while, but tighter clamps equals better isolation, so there's a trade-off. Also, the ear pads can get warm, so it's great, I guess, if you're living somewhere cold. Ear warmers? As far as noise cancellation, I can only compare it to my AirPods Pro 2, which is my daily driver. I'm trying to look for it. I think it's here. Oh yeah, there. The Alchem-E does a much better job than that, but compared to AirPods Max, that has a better ANC. Although that one, I think pretty much is like the top of the list in terms of ANC. Here's my take on sound quality from a studio guy's POV, which is unfair, I know, but hear me out. I'm going to be fair, it sounds good for what it is, which prosumer noise cancelling headphones, of course. It's a bit bloated in the low end, not super technical, of course. Close backs, especially noise cancelling ones, tend to be a bit blunted. You lose a bit of that transience. Things feel a bit rounded off. Prosumer-wise tuning is easy on the ears, which is going to be pleasing for most people. Here's the thing, on commutes, that boosted bass actually works because you lose some of that low end if you're in like noisy environment, right? But it's great for movies, fight scenes, explosions. You got that oomph. So if you're into watching while commuting, there you go. If you're into hip hop, R&B, or anything with some thump, you'll probably dig this. If you prefer it to sound a little bit differently from your perfect tune sound, EQ can fix a lot of things. It's easy to do in the app, which is another great feature. I'd say it competes nicely with the Sony and Bose offerings in this category. My other notes and quirks, the play button is super sensitive. I skipped a few tracks by accident, but you get used to it very quickly. I prefer the physical controls on these headphones over touch controls. There's always a sense of satisfaction with physical knobs and buttons. Of course, the ambient mode, the best one so far that I've used. Sound quality is better with noise cancelling off in quieter environments, of course. Some of the quirks, sometimes you hear your own footsteps when you're walking with ANC on, you know, that thumb every step. The bass forward tuning is fun, commute listening, may not be for everyone, but I think most people will enjoy it. So TLDR pros, all settings carry over to wired mode. So if you're tracking, need to be wired. All your EQ carries over to that, no problem. Solid cable management accessory, that's great. Comes with a sturdy case. It's a little bit heavy, but comes with the case at least. Great companion app, very easy to use. Customizable EQ, physical button control. Another thing I like is after you fine-tune your settings, you don't really need the app anymore. All the other settings is on the headphones. 3-mode noise cancellation is there with auditory confirmation, so that's great. Play, pause control, mic for calls, you have everything. Perfect Tune also helps the user with partial hearing loss, which is great news. Drum mode is great for practice rehearsal or maybe even live performance. Feels premium, noise cancelling is solid. Final thoughts, this is a very promising headphone, especially if you're looking for an all-in-one daily driver and a competent studio headphones for tracking. Play-along mode or ambient mode, as I like to call it, really works well. Okay, that's it from me. If you made it to the end, write cans in the comment below. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more reviews, music tech, and general nerdy things. Okay, see you in the next project.